Okay. Test 1, 2. Alrighty, here at 6 o'clock, just a few minutes, we are going to have a couple of JV matches. We're just getting the names and weights. We should have those here in a few minutes. So if you're tuned in, logged on, want to watch some wrestling, we're going to be back on here in just a few minutes with a couple of JV matches. We will be announcing the varsity matches a little later tonight at 7 o'clock. And we will go to that point. So we'll be back on in just a couple of minutes with a couple of JV matches. Okay, we're going to have coming to the mat Crew Beckstead and Spencer Dykeman. Looks like we may have another minute or two. Looking for a scoreboard keeper.
Alrighty, now wrestling from Ogden High School, Spencer Dykeman, and representing South Summit High School, Crew Beckstead.
Okay, here we go. Crew coming over to the mat, and from Ogden High School, Spencer Dykeman. Important to know these JV matches, you know, you can't see from the crowd. There's not a lot of crowd here, and JV is tough. JV is tough. It's a tough situation to be in, but you don't get to be a varsity until you go through the JV. You have to start. These matches are just as important as the varsity matches. Maybe not tonight, but they will be. Dykeman shoots in, going for the fireman, misses. Does a good job of kicking his legs back, getting a cross face on. Dykeman still has the leg tied up. Crew just needs to hit that cross face pretty hard. Crew now getting the 2-point takedown, 3-point takedown. Crew going to his feet, trying to get away, can't make it. Dykeman trying to take him down, doesn't have a good hold. Crew does a great job right there of sensing that Dykeman wasn't in good position and able to break that grip, get a 2-point reversal. They are going to have a score tied at 2 with 1:21 left here in the first period. Crew now going for a standing cradle. Can't quite do it. He is in a crossbody ride. Got the leg looped. Getting a little bit out of position. You really got to be careful on those crossbody rides. You can do a lot of good with them, and you can get in a lot of trouble with them real quick. Crew doing a good job now with a hard cross face. Gets Dykeman on his back. Dykeman quickly gets around before he can. They are going to give him 3 near fall points. So score's going to be 5-2 for Crew. Crew now going to a getting out of position. He does have the head. I think the ref's going to call him for potentially dangerous because he's got to have an arm in there. He does have the leg. He has kind of a reverse cradle, but he's got to be really careful here with 34 seconds. If Dykeman rolls him all the way over, it puts Crew on his back. So Dykeman doing a good job, keeping his back off the mat. Crew doing a good job, a little out of position, but trying to make the most of it. Dykeman now is going to get the 1-point escape. Score is going to be 5-3 with 15 seconds left. Both wrestlers on their feet. 5 seconds left on the clock. Score is 5-3. Dykeman shoots in for the single. He has the hands locked. Not going to be able to get the takedown, though, as Crew does a good job of stretching those legs out. Crew's going to win the toss. He is going to look at his coach for direction. He's going to defer. Dykeman is going to take the bottom to start the second round. Score is 5-3 for Crew Beckstead. And here we go. Dykeman immediately goes to his feet, trying to get away. Crew tries to take him back down, gets him on the mat, but he's a little bit out of position, and Dykeman's going to get the 2-point reversal and tie this match up with 1:48 left in the second period. Dykeman now chopping that elbow. Crew going to his feet, drops into a reversal, doesn't get all the way around, so he doesn't get the points. Score is tied at 5. Far side of the mat, almost ready to go out of bounds. The Crew's going to try to get out of bounds. Dykeman shooting the half. Ref's warning him for stalling, and she's going to stop him now. And she's going to award Crew 1 point for potentially dangerous. She'll bring him back to the center of the mat. I believe Crew is on the bottom position now with 1:17 left on the clock. Score is going to be 6-5 in favor of Crew. Crew on the bottom now. Dykeman taking his place on top. Covers the navel, covers the elbow. And we get going again with 1:15 left on the clock. Dykeman breaking Crew down. Takes those legs out. Ties those arms up. Dykeman going for a half. His coach is telling him to go hard. And referee is going to stop him for potentially dangerous because he did a full Nelson, which is illegal in wrestling. Causes damage to the neck and spine. Ref stops him, brings him back to the center. Awards Crew another point, so it's going to be 7-5 now with 1 minute left on the clock in the second period. Blows her whistle. Dykeman does the elbow chop, takes Crew back down with a tight waist. Crew trying to get back to his hands and knees. Dykeman with that half Nelson, but he has that other arm in there, and that's just not going to work. A little bit of inexperience there, but now he drops back to a regular half Nelson, gets Crew on his back, not long enough to score any points, but Crew has really got to go to work here. Dykeman really driving that forehead now down into the mat. Crew getting a little winded here. 27 seconds left on the clock. Dykeman now with a hard half. He's rolling him over. Crew does a good job getting free with that arm. He's not going to get the near points. Dykeman goes to a headlock, and now he is going to get some points. Ref down taking a look. Crew's got to get out of there, and he can't. With 11 seconds left on the clock, he ends up getting pinned.
Now wrestling from Ogden, Keaton Mays, and from South Summit High School, Ken Fish.
Okay, so tough loss there for Crew Beckstead. Just a couple of little things he could have done there at different times, and this would have been a whole different match, but good match there. Good effort by Crew Beckstead. Up next, we're going to have Chance Fish from South Summit and Keaton Mays from Ogden. They'll take their spot. Ref will get them started. Chance does a good job there. Tried to grab that leg after Mays shot in there. And now Chance doing a good job. Mays reaching in for that leg. Chance does a good job of getting around, getting behind him, gets a 3-point takedown. Working his way into a cradle. He has the arm, he has the leg. I think he's got to clear that head before he can get him pinned, but Chance is going to get some near fall points right off the bat. Chance got a 3-point takedown and racking up some near fall points. I don't think he can pin him until he can clear that head. Ref down taking a look. If she sees what I see, she's not going to slap the mat. Okay, now now Chance sucking that up a little tighter, and he's going to get it. So Chance getting the pin with 1 minute left in the first round. Good job there by Chance. He didn't get the initial takedown, but he took advantage of Mays shooting in there and not going deep enough, and he was able to turn it into some points in a wrestling match. So good job there by Chance Fish. Tough loss there for Keaton Mays. You can kind of see some of the emotion. Well, you kind of can't. I can. I'm going to scroll that camera over there. You can kind of see what some of these wrestlers go through. You know, it's tough to put in the time, put in the training, make your weight, do all that. And JV matches are hard. That's what I was talking about earlier. JV matches are hard, but they are necessary. The only way you get to varsity is by wrestling JV. And the only way you can win is by losing some. It's nature of the beast. Going to try to pan on some of the crowd here, see what we can see. You can see the attendance we have. Like I was talking about, JV matches, you're in it for the experience and for the pins, for the opportunity to wrestle. This is how you get better. I think we still have one more JV match. It's showing on my paper, Logan MacArthur and Spencer Dykeman. I think Spencer Dykeman is taking a little break because he just wrestled Crew Beckstead here a few minutes ago, and they went a round and a half full bore. So I think we're just taking a little break here and giving Dykeman a chance to catch his breath, and we'll be back on in just a second. Okay, we're ready to go again. Final JV match of the night. Logan MacArthur, Spencer Dykeman. We watched Spencer here a few minutes ago as he wrestled Crew Beckstead. Crew took him a round and a half before Crew ended up getting pinned. So let's see how Logan MacArthur does. Here we go. Dykeman kind of shooting in. Shoots in for the fireman in the single leg. MacArthur with a good job getting his hands down in there, stretching out, breaking everything, stopping him from doing anything. Quick little jump around now by MacArthur to get the 3-point takedown. Dykeman trying to get up. MacArthur's going to let him up. He's going to get a 1-point escape. Score's going to be 3-1 here with 1:34 left in the first period. Both wrestlers on their feet. Dykeman shoots for the double. MacArthur with a great job jumping in there, stretching out, getting those arms in there. Dykeman still has a hold of the single leg. Ref's going to stop him for blood. No point scored. Score is going to be 3. It's showing 3-2, but it should be 3-1 because she had signaled 1 point for the escape, and the scoreboard didn't have it, so she held up the number 1 finger again. So I think she has to make an adjustment. We have a blood timeout. They'll get the mats cleaned up, get the blood stopped. Both wrestlers looking at each other. I don't think either one of them knew where the blood came from. So we'll see how that goes. Ref's going to bring him back in, get him started again. Dykeman immediately shoots in. MacArthur, good job getting those hands down in there, stretching those legs out. Dykeman still has a hold of the one leg, and he's going to get a 3-point takedown. Oh. And we're going to have another blood timeout. So at this point, I think she is going to award him the 3-point takedown. But she's got to figure out how she scored that, because I think the score was supposed to be 3-1. Then she held up another finger. So we'll see how she does that. So while we're waiting for the blood timeout, we are going to just stand here and watch for a minute. Somebody's definitely bleeding. We just don't know where. And that is why the referee is down there making the calls, because the score is 3-2. There was a quick lock that she saw that I didn't, so score is 3-2. Now we get started wrestling again. 50 seconds left in the first round. Score is 3-2. Dykeman shoots in. MacArthur doing another good job getting those arms down in there, getting them right where he's supposed to be. That's the perfect counter for a double leg. MacArthur now getting the 2 3-point takedown. Score is going to be 6-2, 37 seconds left. MacArthur working on that single arm bar. Dykeman does a good job of keeping those arms out, stretches out, can't quite do it. MacArthur now got to break him down. He's got a light tight waist on him, does the ankle pick. Dykeman does a good job sitting out, trying to get around, and MacArthur does a good job of following him around, and ref's going to stop him now. I think we have another blood timeout. 13.6 seconds left on the clock in the first period. Score is 6-2. Final match here of our JV match tonight. We are going to have the varsity wrestles at 7. Okay, here we go again. Both wrestlers were neutral. Referee says, no, you're on the bottom. So Dykeman going to take his spot on the bottom. MacArthur on top with 13 seconds left. Score is 6-2. MacArthur does a good job breaking him down. Gets that single arm bar started. Starts walking him around. 6 seconds left on the clock. We'll see if he can get some near fall points here. He is. He's going to get some. I don't think he can pin him, but he is going to get 3 points on the near fall. So score is going to be 9-2. 4 points on the near fall, so 10-2. Okay, MacArthur wins the toss. He defers. Ogden is going to start the second period down. Score is 10-2 for Logan MacArthur. And here we go. Dykeman immediately goes to his feet. MacArthur does a good job breaking him right back down, getting him flat on his stomach, does that elbow chop, starts working towards a cradle. Back to the tight waist. Back to the elbow chop. Dykeman goes to his feet. MacArthur with a nice lift and put down. Keeps Dykeman from scoring any points or getting any reversals. MacArthur trying to do that standing cradle. Dykeman goes to his feet and is going to get a 1-point escape. Score is going to be 10-3. 1:31 left in the second period. Dykeman trying to shoot down in there. MacArthur almost catches him on it and gets around behind, but both wrestlers remain neutral with no points scored. Dykeman shoots in again for the double. MacArthur's got his hands right where they need to be. Stretches out. Does a crossface. Works around. Gets behind him. Gets a 3-point takedown. Score's going to be 13-3. 1 minute left here in the second period. MacArthur now working on that half. Dykeman going back to his hands and knees. MacArthur really tried to do a rollover there, and Dykeman almost caught him on it. Luckily, MacArthur got back out of it without any damage. 48 seconds left on the clock. MacArthur still on top, and you can see Dykeman getting pretty tired. This is a full match for him by now. He wrestled a few minutes ago for 1.5 rounds, and now he's gone another 1.5. Dykeman gets to his feet, trying to get the 1-point escape. MacArthur does a good job with the leg lift, takes him right back down. MacArthur now going for the half. MacArthur doing a good job keeping his weight distributed there. Starting to work that upper body. Dykeman back to his hands and knees. MacArthur getting behind him, staying in good position. Dykeman tries to do a sit out. MacArthur does a good job of looping the leg and keeping him from going around. MacArthur got him broke down again, working on that single arm bar, but time is going to run out in the second period. Score is going to be 13-3 to start the third period. Logan MacArthur from South Summit, Spencer Dykeman from Ogden. Dykeman shoots in for the double. MacArthur doesn't get his arms down, but now he does. Spins around, gets the 3 points, going to be 16-3. He's going to break Dykeman down flat, Working that reverse arm bar. Goes to the half. 1:40 left in the third and final period. Logan MacArthur, Spencer Dykeman. Spencer Dykeman trying to get to his feet. Almost gets to his feet, but Logan going to let him up now, get the 1-point escape. Score is going to be 16-4 with 1:22 left. Dykeman shoots in for the single. Good crossface there by MacArthur. He gets around and gets the 3 points. Score is going to be 19-4, and that is going to be a major decision. So, good wrestling there by the JV. Like I said earlier, JV is it's an important step in the wrestling process. So with that, it's 6:28. We are going to sign out until 7 o'clock. Be on about 6:45. We'll be showing the national anthem and having that whole procedure. So if you're not on, get on. If you have friends and neighbors that want to listen, we're broadcasting live here at South Summit with the Wrestles versus Ogden. Okay, if you're on and listening, 7 o'clock is the scheduled starting time. We will tune in when it comes time for the national anthem and the presentation. Introductions, South Summit High School wrestling Ogden High School tonight. A couple more minutes. They are scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. It is going to be a quick match tonight. We only have 6 matches. We have a lot of forfeits. But make sure you're tuned in at 7 because it's going to go a little quicker tonight. Okay, we will keep tuned in here. They're going to start some announcements. I'm going to turn the mic up. You'll be able to hear Sam on the for doing the announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight to our duel between South Summit and Ogden. We thank the Ogden Tigers for coming down as Restrooms to the center of the mat, please.
Okay, you've just listened to the introductions there by Sam. And listen to the national anthem. Want to thank our cheerleaders. Want to thank our wrestling team. Want to thank our coaching staff. Want to thank the staff that brings these broadcasts to you. Want to thank Sam down there announcing. First match of the night, we are going to have Tough Thornton from South Summit versus Parker Morris. Okay, we're going to get started here. If you're logged in at home, appreciate you being here. If you're listening to a broadcast, we appreciate that as well. So always good to have somebody listening. Here we go. Immediately, Morris shoots in, tries to get the double. Tough doing a good job getting back, staying in control. Keeps that arm, keeps that head. Both wrestlers still back on their feet. Tough really getting after it here right off the bat. Doing some good counter moves. Reaches in for that knee grab. Puts his head there in the ribs, turns it into a cradle, and that's pretty quick. He's going to roll him over, and he's got a good shot at pinning him. 1:30 left on the clock. He has the three-point takedown, but somehow Parker Morris able to break that grip and get back on his hands and knees. Score's going to be 6-0 after the 3 near fall points. Tough on top. Parker Morris on the bottom. Parker trying to get around. Tough doing her little reverse arm there. Almost gets him on his back again. Starts working towards that cradle. He has the arm, has the head. Now he gets it locked around the knee. He's going to roll him over, and the score is 7-0 with 1 minute left. He's going to, somehow Parker's going to get out of that, get back to his hands and knees. Wrestlers on the near side of the mat here. Tough putting on a tight waist, working that single arm bar. Parker getting back to his hands and knees. Tough with a tight waist and an elbow chop there. Still can't break him down. 34 seconds left on the clock. Score is 7-0 for Tough. Tough getting a little bit out of position. Parker tries to get around behind him, and Tough does a good job of walking that through and staying in control. Tough still on top. Parker on his hands and knees trying to get to his feet. Tough still has that tight waist on there, still working the arm. You'd like to see Tough get a little around behind him and get those legs tied up a little more, but with the score of 7-0 and 5 seconds left, I'm not going to tell him what to do. Starting to work towards that cradle, but time's going to run out in the first period. 7-0. Tough Thornton over Parker Morris. They'll start the second round. Tough gets to choose. He defers. Parker is going to choose to start the second round on the bottom. Hands and knees on the line. Tough will come in, put his hand on the navel, cover the elbow, and they'll get started. Parker immediately goes to his feet. Tough stays with him. Parker on his feet, trying to get that grip broken away so he can get the 1 point escape, and does. They are at the far left side of the mat, almost out of bounds. Score is going to be 7-1. 1:48 left on the clock. Tough shoots in for the single. He has the leg. Parker does a good job of getting those hands down in there, but Tough keeps that head. Almost goes to a standing cradle. He's going to get a 3 point takedown. Score is going to be 10-1 with 1:33 left in the second. And Tough's going to put him on his back. Ref down, taking a look, but somehow Parker able to get back to his stomach. Breaks that grip again. He's going to get 3 more near fall points. Score's going to be 13-1, 14-1 with 1:18 left in the second. Parker gets to his feet. Tough does a good job of keeping that ankle. Tries to do a trip. Can't do it. Parker's going to get a 1 point escape. Both wrestlers neutral now in the center of the mat. Clock ticks down to 1 minute. Score is 14-2 with a nice headlock there by Tough. He puts Parker right down on his back, and he is going to pin him. 51 seconds left in the second period. Tough Thornton throws on a nice little headlock there and pins Parker Morris. Up next at 113 pounds, Blake Pulver from South Summit versus Boston Burton from Ogden. Boston already on the mat, waiting for Blake to come in. Trotting into a good old Survivor song, Eye of the Tiger. Back from the 80s. And here we go. Blake Pulver, Boston Burton. Nice little head chuck there by Blake. Gets Boston down on the mat. Blake's going to immediately go to a reverse armbar. Puts the head around him. Ref's down taking a look. 1:42 left on the clock. Somehow Boston's able to get out of that. Blake still has the single arm. He's going to walk it around again. Little bit out of position, but now he moves his leg and gets in a little better position. I don't think he's going to be able to pin him with this, but he's already got 3 points for the near fall, or for the takedown, and he's going to get another 3 for the near fall. Now he drops the arm, picks up the head. Now he's got a shot at pinning him. 1:20 left on the clock. Ref down taking a look. Boston doing his best, getting back to his stomach. Ref's going to award 4 points on the near fall. Score's going to be 7-0 with 1 minute left. Boston getting back to his feet. Blake working that down. He still maintains control. No escape points. Boston kind of working into a side cradle there. Blake working into a side cradle there. Boston reaches out, grabs the leg, keeps him from getting around. Clock ticks down to 48 seconds. Now Boston kind of has a reverse cradle with kind of a reverse half, and I'm not sure what happened, but it got loose. Boston gets a 1-point escape. Wrestlers are neutral. 38 seconds on the clock. Score is 9-1. Both wrestlers on their feet. Center of the mat. Boston shoots in for the single. He has the leg. Got to clear the head to get the 2 points. Boston's got to step over Blake with that leg and get the 2 points. Blake doing a great job there with a counter move. Keeping that arm in there. Keeping Boston from getting the takedown. Now Blake kind of turning that into a chicken wing there. He has the arm. He has the head. He's not going to be able to roll him over, and time's going to run out. Score is going to be 9-1 at the end of the first period. Boston has his choice. He's going to look to his coach. He's going to defer. Blake's going to take the top position to start the second round. Boston on the bottom. Blake Pulver on the top. Boston tries to stand up. Blake does a good job keeping the arm, breaks the elbow. Keeps him down on the mat. Has that reverse arm. Going to try to walk that around. Goes the other way. Gets Boston broke down flat. Blake trying to walk that around. He is going to get some near fall points here. He's going to step around there like you see. Now he has a shot at pinning him. 1 minute 30 left on the clock in the second period. Boston does a good job getting back to his stomach. No near fall points scored. Still 9-1. Boston broke down flat. Blake working that top. Has the arms. Really working that upper body, trying to get that reverse arm bar. Clock ticks down to 1:15. Blake almost gets him rolled over there with that single arm. Now he gets him in the spot where he's going to pin him. And he does. Little quick slap there by the ref. Another second. Boston would have been out of that, but Blake gets the pin with 30 seconds left in the second period. Blake Pulver over Boston Burton. Cash Atkinson now coming on the mat. Wrestling Mason Morris. Little instrumental music for his entrance. Nice little piano solo. These guys really getting it after it right off the bat. Cash going in, tying up. Gets that arm, gets a single leg takedown. Didn't really shoot in for it. It just kind of came to him. He has the arm, kind of an offset cradle. He gets the 3-point takedown. Cash on top, working that right arm of Mason Morris. Has the tight waist. Good job tying up the legs. Nice little elbow chop there to take Mason back down. Cash working for that single arm bar. Mason trying to keep him from getting that looped. Really like Cash staying behind him and keeping those legs tied up. Mason trying to get to his feet. Cash with a good job tying those legs up again. Breaks him right back down. Starts getting out to the side there, working on that single arm. Still has the tight waist. Here at the near side of the mat, about to go out of bounds. They're still in bounds wrestling with 1 minute left on the clock. Score is 3-0 for Cash. And they're far enough out of bounds now. I'm guessing the ref's going to stop him. He does have that reverse arm bar. He is going to be able to roll him over. But they're almost completely out of bounds, and she's letting him wrestle. Ref's going to stop him now as both wrestlers are completely out of bounds. She's going to bring him back to the center. No points scored. Score is 3-0. 40.9 seconds left. Cash leading. Mason Morris. Mason on the bottom, Cash on top. Mason goes to his feet. Cash keeps the waist, keeps the hands, ties up the legs, takes him right back down. Cash staying in good control, still working that upper body. Working that single arm now from underneath the stomach. Mason trying to get to his hands and knees, but Cash doing a good job keeping those arms tight. As long as he keeps those arms tight, he's going to be in good shape, but he is on the side. Like to see him keep that weight back there a little more. He's riding him really high. They're near out of bounds again. 9 seconds left on the clock. Score is still 3-0. So Cash done a lot of wrestling here. He has spent a lot of time with Mason with his back towards the mat, but has not scored any points. She's going to give him 4 for the near fall now. Score's going to be 7-0 at the end of 1. Cash had him on his back probably 3 or 4 times. Wasn't able to get it long enough or close enough to score the points until the final seconds of the first round. Should actually be the third round. Starting the third round. Score is 7-0. That will put Mason on the bottom. Cash on top. Mason tries to go to his feet. Cash keeps the waist and arm, ties those legs up, does a good job keeping Mason down, takes him right down flat. He's up higher and a little higher than you like to see him, but now he gets kind of back there where he needs to be, working that single arm bar again. Really likes that single arm bar, but he's got to walk it around the other direction. Doing a good job keeping control of the legs, keeping control of the upper body, making Mason work for everything. Cash now with kind of a cross body figure 4, not quite a figure 4, not quite a cross body. He is going to get some near fall points, but he's not going to be able to pin him. Now he works to that modified half Nelson. And Mason's back is on the mat, and Cash gets the pin with 1:10 left in the third period. Cash Atkinson getting the pin. We've got about 4 weights now with a bye. You can see the wrestlers do have to have their uniforms on. They have to have their headgear ready. They have to be ready to wrestle in order to get the 4-foot points. Up next at 150 pounds, Gage Prescott and Avery Dalton. Gage coming in on a Spider-Man music ensemble. And we're going to get going. Gage and Avery Dalton. Wrestlers tying up. Kind of feeling each other out these first few seconds. Gage working that inside arm. Still on their feet. Kind of working towards a bear hug there, but wasn't able to get it. When you're wrestling around like this on your feet, you kind of want to keep that head lower. The lowest head usually wins. Avery kind of reaching in there for a single, and Gage does a good job of kind of walking around to the side, and with a kind of a reverse cradle, he's going to get a 3-point takedown. Ref's going to stop him for a blood timeout. Score's going to be 3-0 with exactly 1 minute left to go in the first period. Timeout for blood. "35 live viewers." That's kind of what we like to see. A lot of people tuned in to watch tonight. Take this opportunity to thank everybody who helps putting this on. Always nice to have these broadcasts for those who can't make it. It's always kind of nice to have these broadcasts to go back and watch later. I had a doctor appointment earlier today, and I was about 15 minutes early, which never happens. So I took a few minutes and watched some of the past matches. Okay, it looks like we are ready to go. They're going to come out. Avery on the bottom, Gage on top, and they'll get started again. 58 seconds left on the clock. Score is 3-0. And Gage with a nice little roll over there. He's going to put him on his back. He's going to get some near foul points. He's not going to pin him. And it doesn't look like he's going to get the near foul points either. Score's still going to be 3-0 with 41 seconds left. The ref's holding her hand down like she is going to give it to him, but she hasn't yet. Score is still 3-0. 25 seconds left on the clock here in the first round. Gage, Prescott, Avery, Dalton. Now she's going to go ahead and give him the 4-point near fall. Score is going to be 7-0 with 10 seconds left in the first round. Gage, Prescott, Avery, Dalton. Gage still on top, working the legs, and kind of going to ride the timeout. End of one, 7-0 for Gage Prescott. Dalton has the choice. He is going to defer. Looks like a piece come out of his headgear. Green is going to choose on top, so Gage Prescott will start the second round on top. He'll also be in ahead with a score of 7-0. Dalton on the bottom. Gage covers the elbow, covers the navel. Here we go. Dalton trying to go to his feet. Gage with a good job on an elbow chop and a tight waist. Little duck under there, rolls him over. He's going to put Dalton on his back. I don't think he can pin him, but he is going to get some points from it. Dalton able to get back to his stomach. Ref's going to give him 3 points for the near fall. Score's going to be 11-0. And now Dalton gets a 1-point escape. Score's going to be 11-1 with 1:32 left in the second. Dalton shooting in for the double. Gage with a nice job of stretching those legs out, but he's got to get those arms in there. He does so now, breaks that, gets around behind him. Still on their feet, doesn't have the takedown yet, but he's going to roll him down and get another 3-point takedown. Score's going to be 14-1. 1:13 left in the second period. Has that reverse arm bar now. If he can figure for that head, he's going to put Dalton on his back. Ref's going to get down, take a look. And Gage Prescott's going to get the pin with 1:03 left in the second period. We're going to have another 4 forfeits here. Final 2 matches of the night. We're going to have the 215-pound weight class, Oscar Dominguez versus Kyle Rambos from Ogden. After that, we'll have Traven Boger and Dini Abdullah from Ogden. So right now, Oscar Dominguez. Oh, they had to, Riker Woodward had to do the forefoot. Oscar Dominguez now onto the mat. Here we go. Little different style of wrestling here as we get into the heavyweights. Not quite as initially aggressive, but these two are getting after it right off the bat. Rambaugh's trying to tie up. Oscar Dominguez doesn't want a part of it. And now with the tie up, he shoots in for the single. He has the leg. He's going to go ahead and do the lift. Somehow Rambaugh's is able to break that grip, and Oscar's not able to get the takedown. Both wrestlers are still on their feet. 1:15 left on the clock in the first round. Scores 0-0. Rambaugh's still trying to tie up. Oscar trying to stay away from him. They are here on the near side of the mat. Both wrestlers still on their feet. 58 seconds left on the clock. Score is 0-0. Rambaugh's still trying to tie up. Oscar trying to stay away from it. Be a nice time for a little fake and duck under. When Rambaugh's comes in to tie up, just pop that elbow up and duck around behind, and it's got the perfect setup for it. And Oscar, you see just Oscar actually tried to do a duck under. Rambaugh's keeps him from getting it. Rambaugh's come walking in. Oscar for the shoot. He drops the double, goes to a single, pulls on the leg. Rambaugh's with a good crossface there, almost has the grip, and a good job by Oscar of chopping the leg and taking him down. He's going to get the 3 points near fall with 5 seconds left in the first period. Rambaugh's on the bottom, Oscar Dominguez on top, and Rambaugh's is going to get a 1 point escape with 1 second left. Score's going to be 3-1 to start the second period. Oscar wins the toss, he defers. Oscar says, Rambaugh says, I'm going to start the second round on the bottom. Rambaugh's on the bottom, Oscar Dominguez on top, and that's how we'll start the second round with a score of 3-1. Rambaugh's trying to go to his feet. Oscar gets into a crossbody ride. He has the leg looped, and he's able to somehow end up flipping him over and loses the crossbody ride, but now he's trying to work that figure four on the stomach. Loses the figure four, kind of goes into a press there. Rambaugh's down flat on his stomach. Oscar way up high, but working that upper body pretty hard. Score is still 3-1, 1:25 left on the clock. Second period. Ref's probably going to stop him for a stalemate here pretty quick because neither wrestler is going to be able to do anything. Oscar is still trying to work that half Nelson, but with both legs under him, he's not going to be able to flip him over. He gets the half Nelson, he's got to walk out to the side. He's precariously high on Rambaugh's. You'd like to see Oscar get back there a little bit, keep that weight on him. Now Oscar releases the leg. Clock ticks down to 49 seconds here in the second round. Score is still 3-1. Oscar dangerously high. Still working on that half Nelson. Rambaugh's really can't do anything. Oscar's got him a lot of weight on him. Pushing down, working the head, working the upper body. Loops that leg again. And Rambaugh's really can't do anything at this point. 19 seconds left on the clock. Score is still 3-1. Both of these wrestlers expending a lot of energy. Rambaugh's trying to get up. Oscar Dominguez trying to keep him down. Rambaugh's trying to get to his hands and knees. Oscar still working that upper body. Still has that high body ride. And that's going to be the end of the second period. Score is 3-1 at the end of 2. Oscar Dominguez, Kyle Rambaugh's. to start the third round, they're going to be neutral on their feet. Here we go. Oscar with a nice shoot for the single. He has the leg. He's got to do the lift now. He has the leg locked. He's got to be able to get the lift and get the trip. And Rambaugh's doing a good job of breaking that grip and not allowing Oscar to get the 2 points. Rambaugh's tries to do a head throw there. Oscar's got good balance, breaks away. Both wrestlers still neutral, still on their feet. 1:30 on the clock. Scores 3-1 for Oscar Dominguez. Oscar now trying to do a little head chuck there, doesn't get it. Rambaugh's reaching in for a single. Oscar tries to go to a headlock, misses the head, and is able to spin around and still get a 3-point takedown. Score's going to be 6-1 with 1 minute left on the clock. Rambaugh's gets the escape, another point. Score's going to be 6-2. Third period. Rambaugh shoots in for the single. Oscar does a good job deflecting that around to the side. He's going to get another 3-point takedown. He didn't get it. He let him up. He let him up. He thought he had the 3 points. He didn't have it, and he let him up. Oscar on his feet, scores 6-2. Rambaugh shoots in for the single. Oscar does a good job stretching out, keeps that leg out of the way. He's going to tie up the leg. He does have to break that grip of Rambaugh's to get the 3-point takedown. Score still 6-2, and now he gets that leg around, gets the 3-point. Oscar's going to let him up. Score's going to be 9-3. 24 seconds left in the third period. Oscar leads 9-3. Dominguez shoots in for the 2, misses it. Oscar does a good job going around behind him, gets another 3-point. Oscar's going to let him up for 1. Score's going to be 12-4. Now Oscar with a nice duck under turns it into a headlock. Oscar puts Kyle Rambaugh's on his back and gets the pin with 5.7 seconds left in the third period. So Oscar wait until the last minute, literally the last second, before he gets the pin on Rambaugh's. Up next, Trayvon Boger from South Summit, wrestling Denny Abdullah. Here we go. Riggin goes in immediately for the head, does an arm pick, puts it into a reverse arm bar, almost gets the pin in 8 seconds, but Ramdilli does a good job of staying on his feet. Abdulini. Now Oscar, don't even have time to get the name. Trayvon flips Dino Abdullah on his back, gets a pin. 1:46 left on the clock in the first period. So a 14-second pin there for Trayvon Boger. Team score ends up at 84-0. Our next broadcast, we will be doing the Wildcat Classic here in 2 weekends. It'll be an all-day tournament. We'll probably only be broadcasting the final championship round, possibly the consolation round. So 2 weekends, not this weekend, but the next, the Wildcat Classic. And we will, it's a high country classic actually, and we'll be here to broadcast that. So South Summit, Ogden High School, want to thank Ogden for traveling up here. Had a great duel tonight, and that's going to do it for us. And we're going to check out, and we'll see you next time.